Hey folks, it's Lindsey Huddleston with SPS back in the building over at the beautiful MGM Grand in downtown Detroit. And it's the Horatio Williams Foundation Annual Coaches Forum. And I'm very excited. I get the opportunity to interview all the coaches when they come in. But there's a bias here, a super bias. I got a Bronco bias going on right here with first year, not even a month in, right, to this role, Kahil, Fennell. I say it right, Coach?
You did, absolutely.
All right, man, I'm good. I bring it home. I said it with confidence, too. I'll scream it out next time. Well, Coach, I want to welcome you. And there is a excitement that I have because it's Western Michigan, and all due respect to the former coach. Dwayne was a friend. Monty is his former roommate who'll be sitting right in front from Detroit Mercy. But you have been winning everywhere you've gone, from BYU to UT, Rio Grande.
Valley. Yep.
Valley. Okay.
Yeah,
And you continue to have that. So talk about, one, how do you feel? And two, what's your thoughts about being here with the Horatio Williams Foundation?
Well, we're really excited about being here today. You know, obviously, sitting down here with you, with an alum, is awesome, and meeting some great people from the state of Michigan. As far as their affiliation with Michigan basketball is fantastic for us. And to your point, I've been here for less than a month, so anytime that I can make these kinds of connections and see people in person and have them get to know me a little bit better, it's a huge advantage for us. So, really fortunate to be a part of this thing today, and really excited about it. Beyond that, as far as our time at UTRGV and BYU, it was really exciting. We're really fortunate to work with some great players, and if we can just get a collection of some really talented guys and have them play off the same sheet of music and get out of the way, hopefully the results take care of themselves. So we were fortunate that
That's great. That's great. You're coaching during a time that's so unique, with from where we probably grew up as and what things were to this new era, NIL, the portal. How does a coach like you, a new head coach, kind of just land in this space with all this that's going on top of being a new head coach in the MAC?
Yeah, it's a volatile time. Take out my role in it necessarily, but it's just a volatile time in college athletics, right? With the portal, with NIL being what it is, with all the new waivers and guys being eligible for an extended period of time, which you don't necessarily expect. All of that is interesting, and it's unprecedented as far as it pertains to college sports in general. So to be a part of it now is quite the experience, and I think the guys that adapt to it the fastest, the guys that recognize it is what it is, we can really be impactful in the spaces that we're capable. And those are the things, those little margins that you have to continue to really fight for, and no matter what the circumstances are, no matter what the new rule is, no matter what the financial situation is, just fight for the margins and try to find success where you can.
That was great. I was putting my sports psychology hat on as you were talking about the volatility, but then I got it. You say fight for the margins, because my question was going to be, how have you been able to find success in this volatile time? But talk more about fighting for the margins.
Yeah, I think it really depends, right? What is our advantage? Where can we be really successful? What are some spaces that some other programs and coaches and staffs are really kind of turning a blind eye to? So we're going to outwork people. We're going to build tremendous relationships. We're going to work really hard at that piece. I think that's transformational, right? It's not transactional. And I think the more that you can lay that foundation with relationships that are sustainable and long-lasting, some of the transaction stuff takes care of itself. It's almost like being process-oriented versus results-oriented. And I think we can continue to kind of dominate that space. Hopefully we'll put ourselves in a good position.
Yeah, I like that. You talked about, again, fighting for the margins. Give a little bit of the secret sauce, too, that allows a coach like you to kind of take off. Now, let's not make it about you, because you don't seem to come off that way. But, talk about, those things that you're doing individually, but just overall, as we have all these coaches that are coming here who all want to ascend. But, what are some other aspects that can help them kind of take off?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I get asked I get asked that a lot, actually, where I think people lose sight of just doing their current job really well, right? I think
being where your feet are.
Being where your feet are, right? And I know that sounds simple, and I know it's an overused term, and it becomes cliche-ish, but just be terrific at what you do. Work really hard at what you do. Be really well liked and respected for working hard, for being honest, for being sincere. And I think these other jobs and other opportunities will start to formalize and materialize because you've done a tremendous job in your current role. And I think so many people just worry so much about the next step. They worry so much about networking and things like that, as opposed to just earning people's respect, taking people's respect with your work ethic, with your talent level that's going to increase with your work ethic by being curious, by learning, and by helping people, man. I think so many times, like, the guys that are worried about the next thing, oftentimes have their hand out, and they're oftentimes just asking for favors and things like that, as opposed to just being great and helping other people.
I love that, because for each role someone has, there was a time they worked hard and prayed that they could get that role, and they get it. And you're emphasizing, look, stay there, get the job done, the results will speak for itself. And it's a huge feeling that's different compared to you reaching out to get help, compared to someone saying, hey man, you've been doing great things, I want to talk to you.
Absolutely.
Have you always been that way, or is that something you acquired over time?
I don't think too much about it. I guess I've always been that way. I'm not necessarily a handout guy, a taker. I'm a worker. I think people would say about me, I'm very honest. I know people would say about me, I'm very sincere and direct and very much black and white. And I think generally people respect that. So, I think if you can stick to your guns on the things that matter, on the core principles of who you are, and I think if there's that kind of a foundation of work ethic and sincerity, not only in your character, but in how you go about your business, I think that speaks to people, and eventually those kinds of things will build on itself. And to your point, somebody will bring the opportunities to you as opposed to you seeking so much.
I love that, man. I appreciate that. I won't keep you because I know a lot of people are excited to talk to you, network with you. It's great that you can be so available and accessible. So with the time we have, what's a message you want Kalamazoo community, which I know so well, Metro Detroit, state of Michigan, let's just the nation know about Western Michigan and what's going to be happening next?
Not necessarily big picture things, but just very, very excited to be here. We're really excited to hit the ground running. We're very fortunate to be a part of this program. There's so many exciting things that Dan Bartholomew's got rolling at Western Michigan for the Kalamazoo region in general. We're just fired up to be a part of it, man. We're going to do everything that we can to create a championship culture and fight for championships right away. We'll do whatever it takes to put ourselves in position to do that. So very, very excited about the future.
I like that. And the last thing, so you told them, unless you build me an arena, I'm not going to come. Hey, man, talk about timing, right?
Oof. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's an unbelievable space. It's going to be a marquee event center for the whole region, for the state, frankly. Very, very excited to get involved.
Outstanding. Well deserved. Well, I appreciate that, and I want to make sure I get down to see you guys, okay?
Thanks, so.
Yeah, with that being said, guys, it's Lindsay Huddleston with SPS, and we'll see you next time. Peace.